as much as everybody likes Jamar Chase, I believe that T. Higgins might even be better than he is. Now, we haven't seen it because Jamar Chase is the number one target over there with the Bengals. But when T. Higgins is 100% healthy, Jamar Chase is not as big as him. He's not as strong as him. Now, I know Keith is going to say, I'm out of my mind, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I watch football, Keith. And I'm telling you right now, T. Higgins is a great player. And this was an absolute home run. But here's the problem. T. Higgins can't stay healthy, and Jamar Chase is up and down sometimes. And it takes Jamar Chase usually a half a season to figure things out. And that's the problem. Jamar Chase has to be 110% throughout the season. And Joe Burrow, he's good one year, he falls off, he gets hurt another year. He's good one year, and he gets hurt another year. Joe Burrow needs to stay 100% healthy this year, especially if their defense is not going to be as good as it's been. Now, obviously, Trey might not be back next year. They might decide. I know everybody says they were willing to take less money. They said that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase was going to take less money. I don't see how they took less money.
No.
They took just as much as we expected them to. So I don't know how Trey is going to go back there. So they lose Trey. And now you're looking at their defense. Where do they go in the draft? Do they go all defense? Do they go pass rush in the first round and second round? They might have to because they have none. And if you're going to depend on your offense, which Fish knows, that might be a slap in the face. I love the Cooper Kupp move. And I know Fish has numbers to tell you that this is not a good move for the Seattle Seahawks. He's going home, guys. He's going home. Sam Darnold is going to use him as his number one target. We'll see how it works. We'll see how McDonald draws up plays and how they're going to run their plays in the slot to him. And again, is Cooper Kupp going to be 100%? He probably isn't. But even 80% of Cooper Kupp is going to give you 1,200 yards, and it's going to give you about eight or 9 touchdowns. I love Cooper Kupp, and until it's proven otherwise, I think it's a good signing. He got him on the cheap. 3 years, $45 million. I mean, are you going to pay DK Metcalf what he got paid? I'm serious. I wouldn't. I would take Cooper Kupp, a healthy Cooper Kupp, over DK Metcalf any day. Any day. Now, what kind of Cooper Kupp are we going to have every single year? That only time will tell, but we don't know what Cooper Kupp's going to be with a new system and how they're going to run him in this offense. So the Kirk Cousins thing is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what the Atlanta Falcons are thinking. I would say, to me, is hold on to Kirk Cousins before the preseason's over, and then I try to move him because I believe there's going to be an injury somewhere in the preseason or somebody's going to get hurt, and you need a star quarterback or a competent number one quarterback that's going to be able to play for at least 7-8 weeks until your quarterback comes back, and Kirk Cousins is the perfect fit anywhere. So I think Atlanta's holding on to him. Aaron Rodgers wanting to go to Minnesota. Why? Why do you want to do what Brett Favre did? You're doing exactly what Favre did. Favre left the Green Bay Packers to go to the Jets. He was there 1 year, choked up, didn't do what he was excited. It was 8-5, or what was it, 8-3, gets hurt against the Patriots on a Thursday night football game, and then he was done with the Jets. Then he goes to, he decides where he's going to go. The Jets move him. He retires. He comes back. The Jets move him to Minnesota. He goes to Minnesota, and then he makes a run with Minnesota. You do not want to do what Brett Favre did at the end of his career. And it seems like the trajectory is going exactly the way Brett Favre went. It went the same way. So I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing, but it seems like the Giants have made a decision. They're going with Russell Wilson. I think that's the better move for them, especially if you're going to bring in a Cam Ward, because guess what? Russell Wilson is just a fill-in until 6 or 7 weeks in, where you're going to bring in Cam Ward and expect him to understand the offense. So I think this is a good move for the Giants if they bring in somebody like him. Jameis Winston is not a slam dunk. And for any Giant fan to sit here and say, hey, we got Jameis Winston, we're going all the way. If they bring in Jameis Winston, Joe Shane is gone within 2 or 3 weeks. Russell Wilson has to be the guy. I think they don't. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have let Russell Wilson leave over there where the practice facilities over there with the Giants. I think that was a big mistake. But all in all, I think Russell Wilson's a better fit. The Jamar Chase, T. Higgins slam dunk as well. The Derek Stingley. Here's the thing. Derek Stingley, when 100% healthy, this guy is probably a top 5 corner in football. I think he's a little bit overrated, and I wouldn't have paid him the highest contract, guaranteed money a corner's ever gotten in NFL history. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's crazy. And go look at Stingley when it comes down to big games and against big wide receivers. He can't stop them. So I think this is a lot of money to give to a guy. I understand what the Texans are doing. They trust in their players. They trust in their draft picks that they draft, and they're depending on Derek Stingley to stay healthy. I think that's a little bit too much when it comes to paying some of the superstars you're going to have to pay in the future.
Cooper Kupp's a great fit. I don't know if I'd have given him 3 years, but just as far as, just the injury
Probably
stuff.
had to.
Yeah, but the third year, it actually doesn't really cost them that much money. I mean, honestly, after 2 years, they can drop him, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't really affect their cap. What is it, $8 million that hurts their cap? It's not going to kill them. And honestly, if Cooper Kupp is anywhere close or even 85%, it's a slam dunk for Sam Darnold. He's a great team player. That's the only reason why.
I disagree, man. And listen, I just watched an incredible thing with Cooper Kupp, how he overcame people saying he can't do it at every level. This is a guy that you want on your team. Here's the problem. Let me read to you his steep decline in the ability to get open. This is per ESPN's player tracking data. In 2021, when he had that monster year, he was 15th in the league in getting open out of 160 ranked players. The next year, he was 71st out of 150, middle of the road. The year after that, 102 out of 153. And last year, 141 out of 159.
He barely played last year.
It doesn't, but Errol, look, it doesn't matter. The problem is you can't pay a guy who doesn't have game-breaking speed that doesn't get open unless he has every other intangible. And he might. But giving him a $15 million deal when the guy doesn't get open anymore, that's Kenny Golladay.
He's better than Kelly. He's better than Kenny Golladay. Yes.
Look, before Kenny Golladay got hurt, he was a Pro Bowl player. He was
for his 4 good games a year.
Well, you're not. Look, Gettleman was fooled by it, but
we know.
I'll say this: as soon as some of those guys that don't have the elite speed have that injury, and they can't get back to a passable level of speed, it doesn't matter. He's just not that guy anymore. And if McVay is giving up on him, I think that says a lot. That's my opinion on it. But look, there's a lot of good deals. I think it's crazy that they're not paying Trey Hendrickson and they decided to pay T. Higgins. I think that's suicidal for Zach Taylor, a guy who doesn't know defense, by the way. He can coach offense. You don't need to have the best receivers in the league to coach offense. Joe Burrow can get it to anybody. They have guys all over that roster that are mid-round picks that catch the ball pretty well. I don't know why they needed to pay T. Higgins that money. That's crazy to me. You need to pay it on defense because your defense was probably the worst in the NFL last year or close to it. Mm-hmm. That's the reason they didn't make the playoffs. They were garbage on defense. And I'm sorry, you're going to continue to be even worse because Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks last year on your garbage defense. And he had the same amount of sacks the year before, 17 and a half, 2 consecutive years. No, let me pay my number 2 receiver. Are you stupid or something over there?
And what will they have to even pay him at this point?
Not enough. It's not enough.
They could give me the Dodgers to defer money.
As of today, like when I was looking into it, they said they're still trying to sign Hendrickson.
Okay,
so
say
what are
they
going
do,
to do? Who are they going to get after that?
That's right.
Zero cap.
Say they do sign Hendrickson. Now they have one player on a defense. I think they re-signed B.J. Hill. So my old Giant.
Oh yeah, great.
Inside tackle. He's
a
good
Taylor
player.
Britt.
Not great.
They have
Cam Taylor Britt, who's like Jekyll and Hyde out there. He was great against the Giants. But that's
let's get a BJ on the hill, baby.
Well, but I agree. I agree with you, Fish. I don't know why they were trying to pay T. Higgins, other than I think scared that Burrow would have left if he didn't get his weapons that he's been begging them to pay all year. So I think that's why they probably said, you know what, let's just give Burrow what he wants. As far as Aaron Rodgers, why wouldn't you want to go play with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and a good running back? And
he's never going to play.
A fan base that's
he's never
not going to sit there and belittle every move you make. He might want to get out of the limelight a little bit, still do his Pat McAfee show, but not have people murder him every time he goes on there from the Jets organization, So
here we go.
I think that's a real deal. And I think the Giants and the Steelers are in a waiting game on if Aaron Rodgers goes with the Vikings. Because why wouldn't they have signed Russell Wilson? Like you said, Errol, why would he have left the building? I think they want to see if Aaron Rodgers goes with the Vikings, then they're going to make an offer to Aaron Rodgers. Then if Aaron Rodgers says, no, I'm going to Pittsburgh, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the third pick. I don't know. Free agency's been a little bit crazy, but I think the Aaron Rodgers saga is just similar to the Brett Favre one, and you're seeing he's doing exactly what Brett Favre did, except not retiring 16 times. He's just staying in the league.
And wearing a watch flashing wiener pics.
Exactly.
Well, we don't know what he's doing right now. I mean, seriously. He does like to smoke ayahuasca, so who knows what he's doing over there.
Drink it.
You drink it. It's a tea, Errol.
Whatever. Smoking, drinking.
Come on,
it's the same
man.
thing. Like I drink or smoke ayahuasca. So, how would I know?
You go to the Joshua Tree every year, don't you?
No, I don't. But, maybe I should.